There are two separate hostage-taking situations playing out right now in Paris, and as you can imagine, U.S. officials, counterterrorism officials, are monitoring these developments very closely. Our White House correspondent Phil Mattingly is traveling with the president. He's in Knoxville, Tennessee this morning. Phil, the president is going to be speaking about education. We can be almost certain that he'll give himself a pat on the back for the jobs numbers as well. But the world's attention is on France right now, and in particular, these situations playing out in Paris. And some of the reading that I've been doing this morning suggests that U.S. intelligence knew as much and possibly more than the French about these suspects. What are you hearing?
Yeah, that's absolutely right, Eric. At least as much, that's for sure. Look, U.S. officials over the last 24 hours I've been talking to made clear that not only were they aware of these two prime suspects, the two brothers that are currently holed up and surrounded by French law enforcement, but they were on the U.S. no-fly list, they were on U.S. terrorist watch list, and they had communicated with French intelligence about these two brothers and what they were about. I think the big concern right now I'm hearing is the fact that the oldest brother traveled to Yemen to train with al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula, by far and away the most dangerous al-Qaeda splinter group in American eyes. That they were still able to pull this off, I think, is raising a lot of red flags domestically, Eric, and I know, obviously, with the French as well.
Phil, I know that intelligence and counterterrorism aren't your area of expertise, but what kinds of assumptions could we make, perhaps, and maybe people are telling you, about the way that individuals like that, with that kind of travel history, would be treated here in the United States?
It would be very difficult for them to get in. I think so. If you look at what's an interesting comparison here, and I think why this makes a lot of people nervous, is you look at the Boston Marathon bombings. Tamerlan Tsarnaev was also on a no-fly list. He was the older brother who was killed, not the younger brother who's currently on trial. He was also on a no-fly list, but there was such a miscommunication between all of the different agencies within the U.S. kind of law enforcement infrastructure that he was still able to travel and come back and not raise any flags. Now, in this case, with the older brother having traveled to Yemen, U.S. officials being very aware of that, his ability to get back into the country would almost be nil. But I do think right now American officials, obviously, with such large terror watch lists, with such large numbers of people that they're tracking right now, this is the type of thing that raises a lot of concern.